This video is going to be on what's probably the most highly requested topic I have ever received. I get so many questions about this that I realized there is a collective need to learn more about the union journey. Specifically, the twin flame union, what it is and what it isn't. So prepare to dive deep. First of all, I want to put a disclaimer on this video. If you try to look at this information presented through the lens of your brain, you're not going to be grasping it fully. You're going to be looking at it through the distorted lens of what you think about what I'm about to share, rather than what you feel about it. Many people find themselves on this path without realizing what they are going through, and this confusion might be the reason why you're gravitating towards these words. There is a need to think with the heart in order to be inspired enough to see beyond the lens of the brain and to tap into the soul's knowing, which really inspires this journey. So let's get into it. A twin flame is a one-of-a-kind kind of partner that you might encounter along your journey. You might only have one twin flame that you may or may not meet over the course of your lifetime. Not everyone has a twin flame, but many people who find themselves accelerating along the spiritual path, one day, out of the blue, meet this person who completely transforms their life, changes their perspective, and blows them into a new realm of spiritual understanding because this person is the catalyst that they can call their twin flame. You may or may not want to meet this person or even think about attracting them. They may come from a completely different age category, background, social status, culture, and they might not be your usual type. You might not realize that you are attracted to that kind of a person until you meet your twin flame. Because the very nature of this relationship is something that forces you outside of the box. It changes the way that you perceive the world because it moves you into the soul-based perspective of connection. And this person is essentially your divine counterpart to help you understand both yourself and how you can connect to the divine with them. Twin flames are two individuals that were essentially born of one consciousness. They share a soul frequency at their core, which inspires them to come back into that union due to that subconscious desire to come back home to themselves. Within the twin flame union, there exists a masculine and a feminine polarity. These two twins have to go through a long journey of finding themselves and learning to integrate the two polarities within them as individuals in order to come into union with their partner. When you meet your twin flame, you might not expect that meeting to be as impactful as it is, because along your timeline, if you are meant to meet your twin flame, it will happen at an unexpected moment when you are ready for it. You may not consciously know that you are ready, but you indeed chose this precise timing. There is a soul contract at which point both decided to encounter one another, and that initial meeting already changes you for good. When you meet your twin flame, you're going to feel kind of soul blown. You might feel fireworks on an internal level. You might feel excitement, fear, confusion, a whole interesting, bittersweet mixture of emotions that cause you to move into your soul and to just experience this newfound territory. Because those feelings that you begin to experience are unlike anything you've ever experienced in the past. No partner compares to your twin flame because energetically they are a match to you. Being in their presence can make you tremble with excitement and make you feel like you're overwhelmed with emotions because it's quite literally like encountering the long lost part of you. When twin flames meet, there's some kind of an electric charge associated with that situation. There could be physical attraction, an emotional pull, and a spiritual activation that happens, which just inspires you to want to know that person inside and out, to learn their soul, to understand why you're feeling these feelings that you're feeling, and to really come closer into the state of union, of oneness, which may not be something that you're even familiar with. This pull for oneness begins to activate over the course of the subsequent days, months, or even years, the peeling back of layers which prevent you from coming into oneness with yourself. Because after all, this is what the journey is for. It's for the realization of how within the match to the counterpart of your own soul, you can understand what it means to be love, to be in a state of unity, to understand unity consciousness by dismantling all of the programs, boundaries, conditions, and limitations within your egocentric identity to come back home to that truth, love, connection, and unconditional love, which means you must learn to become everything that you are seeking. First, integrating the lessons within yourself that your twin inspires you to look at so that you can come into union with them. And I want to be very clear about this. The journey to union doesn't necessarily mean physical union, because the lessons that are supposed to be integrated here occur at the level of the soul's awareness. Your twin inspires you to see the shadow parts of you that prevent you from accepting love, from feeling those deep feelings, and from understanding why it is that you're even experiencing them. When your twin enters your life, you might not be equipped to deal with such intensity in a connection. You might not feel ready to be fully vulnerable with someone, to be authentic and honest with them, to understand why it is that you are deserving of love to that deep extent, because typically one twin is more ready to be giving of that love to the other, and one might experience more programming, more attachments, more past limitations, which disable their ability to trust in that love, all the while their soul is knowing that that love is there and that its purity is something to be cherished. The twin flame journey is not a heavenly experience per se. It's a very balanced one. There's moments of both heaven and hell, peace and chaos, love and war. The dichotomy of self is revealed through the merging with this other person, which starts revealing to you and projecting all of your wounds, all of your need for healing, all of the issues within yourself that you are harboring, which they want you to let go of. Because only by letting go of all of the things that come in between you and the reality of love can you experience love with your twin flame. If the twin flame encounter leads to falling in love, if both partners choose to surrender to this feeling that they're so deeply drawn to within themselves and within that counterpart, there's usually a honeymoon period that ensues. Almost intuitively or instinctively, when twin flames come together in physical union, they lead to awakening of each other's kundalini energy. It's this dormant fire that rests within both of their root chakras. When they come together and blend their fields, they begin to activate this energy which flows up their spine through each of their chakras and leads to the activation of even higher chakras, which allow the twins to experience spiritual awakening, allow them to activate more of their sensory potential, to feel more deeply, and also to trigger their deepest aspects that still need healing. Twins can be consumed at this stage of the journey with the sexual desire to be together and even just the feelings that are overcoming them. These feelings are meant to be integrated and absorbed, not necessarily if you're in physical union with this person. You're meant to understand why are you feeling these things and how can you apply this energy for creation, for the use along your own life path towards living out your purpose, because that too is an important aspect of the twin flame journey. If this is your true twin flame that you have encountered, that person subconsciously wants the best for you. They want you to thrive, to grow, to be authentic, to embody your life's purpose, and to do everything that you need to grow, to experience your optimal state of being, to be happy, healthy, and committed to greater evolution and devotion to the divine. If you're dealing with what's called a false twin, somebody who can bring some of this similar energy and excitement into your life, you're not going to deal with this desire to help them grow, and you won't feel that reciprocated towards you. The telltale sign of a twin flame is that this person is there to teach you to come back home to your soul. Not just to teach you a lesson temporarily, to fulfill some soul contract, to create karma, and to then depart into your own ways. No. A twin flame is there to actually help you come home to you. This person cannot give up on you on an energetic level because you quite literally are as one. Your fields are always entangled. And this quantum entanglement brings you more awareness as you individually go through your own self-reflection, your own introspective processes, and your own healing. And as you heal yourself, your twin flame also gets closer to you because guess what? Whatever healing you do deep within yourself also heals your twin. Whatever you do to bring yourself closer to your own purpose in your own heart and soul and divine awareness also brings your twin flame closer to their purpose and to you. There can be many triggers along this path which separate the twins and which bring them into a deep phase of self-reflection and realization. Some twins report going through a dark night of the soul, which is a moment of dismal disappointment and pain and separation. One twin might really hurt the other, make them feel abandoned, not worthy of love, rejected, or in some other way deeply insecure about themselves and the connection. But neither twin intentionally ever wants to hurt the other. Neither twin intentionally wants to create this war. What can unconsciously happen is that the twins harbor some energy that brings resistance into the relationship. And until this energy is resolved on an individual level, the union can never occur. So for there to be union, there has to be a deep desire within each individual twin to look within and to understand the lessons that their twin is teaching them. Because ultimately, this person is there to guide you towards the inner resolve that you need in order to learn why you're here and why love is the answer in your life. At some point, one twin might run from the other, and this leads to what is called the runner-chaser dynamic in the connection. This can lead to tremendous pain, longing, and a feeling of complete and utter confusion because you might not understand consciously why somebody would run from you in this connection. Or you might experience somebody chasing you and you might not understand why do they want you? What are they trying to get from you when you don't even feel deserving of this sacred bond? Well, this running chasing dynamic is really a metaphor for what's energetically occurring within you. And oftentimes, it reveals exactly the dynamic that you experienced as a child with one or more of your parents, caregivers, or other important people in your life. They made you feel you either are deserving of running away from or running towards love. Whenever there is this runner-chaser dynamic present in the relationship, both twins still have to learn the lesson of surrender and self-love. These are the two aspects that are so critical to ascertain because until one twin fully gets this point, the other can never evolve. I'll repeat this. Unless one of the twins, because one is enough to create the energetic shift, learns this lesson, the other is always going to repeat the same pattern that you always find yourself experiencing. So if you want to create a shift in what you know is a twin flame dynamic in your life, you must make the decision to become the catalyst and to lead the two towards the union that you're seeking. Because subconsciously, it's what both partners want. Both partners want to experience the return to that oneness because there can be no higher goal. There can be nothing else that the soul aspires to achieve more than the revealing of its true nature and the return to that divinity. In order to come into harmony within yourself, to lead to this alchemical merging of polarities within your own soul, you must realize where are you battling yourself and what you can do to end this battle for good. You must ask yourself some important questions such as, why do I fear love? Why do I fear being my authentic self? Why do I fear having someone see into my soul so deeply that I can't even accept myself and my vulnerability? Why do you feel a need to run away or to chase someone who is already as part of you? Ultimately, this journey is all about revealing all of the unreasonable conditions that your brain is overblowing into the reality of separation, which doesn't even exist. What this journey reveals is that there is no separation, because at your core, you're already whole. You are already with your soul and you are with God, which means you are already with your twin flame. So if you feel like you are not in that divine union, and if you cannot be in it, ask yourself, why do you feel so separate from the reality of that oneness? Why do you feel like unity consciousness is some goal to be achieved outside of you, and that love is something that you can dream of but not have, because you do not realize that you can be exactly that which you are seeking? This journey may not be all about rainbows and unicorns because there are so many triggers to ascertain in regards to abandonment, rejection, and deep isolation, which the physical self can experience in relation to your disconnect from your soul. To learn more about this, watch my video on the key to inner healing, where I talk about the discontinuity in consciousness, which can occur when you stop seeing that you're actually as one with your higher self. The same journey must evolve in the twin flame union experience. You must start coming back to the true layers of yourself in order to understand why somebody else wants you to be in that elevated state of being. By raising your frequency, you come closer to this reality of union, because you start simply experiencing why it is that you have chosen this experience for you. The pain along this journey exists only for as long as you are stuck to your egoic identity and are refusing to surrender it on the altar of unconditional love, until you realize that there is no more reason to keep up this identity that you have construed, which you think must keep you safe, protected, and loved in this world, because what you may think are the conditions you create and you project, externally speaking, to be loved, to feel successful, and to be happy, is completely detrimental to the true coming home to your twin flame. There are no conditions necessary within that relationship. And yet, what the bond proves is that the relationship can transcend all conditions. And that is truly what unconditional love is about. It's not that there are no conditions in this time-space matrix. There are. And that's exactly the point. To challenge your desire to live conditionally and to make your relationship built around conditions, but rather to see that love can survive in all conditions when you decide to make love the thing that is the most important condition in your life. If you can live for love and with love above all else, you will always feel whole, and you will always have your twin flame around, whether it is physically or in your heart, because you will feel that you have understood the lesson, and you can be grateful to your twin for teaching you this moral of unconditional love. You can thank them in heart, mind, and spirit for being the catalyst for you to awaken to your truth, because that is the most beautiful truth of all, that you were already whole to begin with, and that you are as one with Source. So if you feel challenged by this journey, know that you are not alone. Know that you are here to realize that you are strong enough to go through this, because you created this for yourself, to transcend the deeper human obstacles that don't help you along your path, and to realize that bliss is also within your hands. You must decide you are worthy of love and of experiencing this elevated state of consciousness, because you are already that. On a higher dimensional level, you are already there. You just need to remember by realizing that all the pain is just an illumination of the obstacles you're still harboring that prevent you from experiencing that bliss state of love.